What's happening, everybody? It's Spark, and welcome to the next episode of Breaking Point. We are coming up to Chapter 4 now, after the French Grand Prix, which saw us finish in 4th place, which was a brilliant result. If you're liking the series so far, then do hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell icon to be notified of future videos. We'd love to have you around. I'd love to have you around following the series and my team when that comes out. I'm hoping to release that morally on a weekly basis, so apologies, things have been a little bit quiet in the channel recently, so it was a bit of a heavy weekend, I think, sort of outside and onside working full time, which makes it hard for me to upload videos on a regular basis, but hopefully I should have a lot more content coming out soon, guys, so thanks for sticking with me. And without further ado, let's get into the next episode of Breaking Point at the British Grand Prix after a brilliant race at France last time out. And speaking of France, we've got the news in there that Fernando Alonso is coming back into Formula 1, so the old guard returns. One of our favourite drivers that we love to see for his absolute die-hard, never give up attitude when he's behind the wheel of a car. Hang on a minute, who dis?
Hello?
Hello, mate.
Who is this?
Oh, come on, keep up. It's Devon.
Butler.
The very same.
How did you get this number?
It doesn't really matter. Listen. I just wanted to pass on a bit of friendly advice.
Oh.
Now, it's always tricky racing on your home track. The pressure, all the fans watching, it's a nightmare.
Right, yeah, I imagine it is.
But if you keep your cool, you stay focused, you will get through it, okay? Just imagine it's a different circuit on the other side of the planet. Then, when your race does fall apart, it'll be a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, great advice.
I knew you'd think so. Anyway, good luck out there today. Just try and make it to the end, huh? Ta-ta!
Yeah, good luck to you too. I'll see you later.
That is a very Devon Butler-esque call to have. Like, you could always just bet that whatever he does, he will just insult you in some capacity. Even if he's your best friend, he's always going to insult you in some way. But, yep, still hate the guy, fuck this guy, but still, it is... He's still like the selling point, I think, of this career mode, of this story mode of Breaking Point. So we've got a little bit more, obviously, exposition about Aiden Jackson's story. And, well, obviously, I imagine we'll learn more about Casper Ackerman later on. Well, I think we kind of have to, because he just seems like a cardboard cutout or Kimi Räikkönen coming into this career mode. I imagine we'll get to some of him later, but I just spent some time looking around the hotel, around the post, so it took me it was actually quite a long time of me actually looking through this thing, so we'll at least get to some of the emails that what Brian and Jeff were saying as well. They actually thanked us for being diplomatic during our talks to the interview about how things went with Casper, so that's fair enough. And also Saskia as well is trying to look after our mum, who... Yeah, looking at the email here, obviously mum is with her, but she's definitely... I can imagine her watching the race is definitely the kind of that embarrassing mum stereotype. I know my mum would be like that if I was, if I ever got into Formula 1 or just anything in general. But here we go then, we come up to the race. Capitalising on a fantastic Q3, Aiden Jackson is enjoying one of his finest career performances when the front right puncher threatens to ruin his chances of a top 5 finish. With friends and family in the stands and the crowd behind him, Jackson sets sights on salvaging what he can from the race.
Tyres are gone.
Copy, Aiden. Box.
Copy.
Let's just minimise the damage.
Okay, Lewis Hamilton, if you're watching this right now, this is what it really means when your tyres are dead. Unfortunately, it's a puncture there. We are going to be dropping out of the points, I think, for sure. We've got to get slowed just enough so we've got it on the speed limit there. We should be fine in terms of cruising around. One thing I know with this game, if you come in quite low, especially with the puncture, it doesn't just run the car at the minimum speed limit. You actually lose a lot of time, where it's actually much more crucial. If you lose 15 miles an hour from the 37-mile speed limit, it's much more of a difference than if you're losing 50 miles an hour on the straights, for example. But as we put onto the soft tyres now, I think that's our only chance of 72 points, and that is our goal. We have to finish in 10th place with 6 or 7 laps to go. It really is game on now. Luckily, the Racing Point is a fast car, even with the difficulty on this game being a little bit easier at times, even though it's on hard. And oh, we've just over-braked ourselves massively, and we've missed our braking point, and we've been sent immediately to the Shadow Realm. Instant flashback is on, so yes, I am one of those noobs. And a bit late that time, but at least we're not heading out onto the other side of Silverstone, or Northamptonshire for that matter. So here we are then, we have got now to catch up. Luckily we passed Nicholas Latifi. We have got to catch up now to, I think it's Daniel Ricciardo in the Renault. And I'm glad I think I've got that name right at the moment, because as you will have seen in my previous episodes, I don't get the names right in cars. I always get one driver mixed up with the other, and I've always gotten, for some reason, like I think it happened with the McLarens one episode, and I got the Renaults mixed up as well. I think I've got the right Renault this time, and we are going to be reeling him in very, very quickly. He will be on what I imagine to be old medium tyres. We are on new softs, and it won't be long now until we get onto the back of the Renault. Well, it doesn't need to be long for that matter. We can visually see him though, so that's quite good. It's really the corners where I tend to find where you make the most time, especially in this braking point mode. I'm still not quite there yet with the traction. If you saw me short shifting a little bit earlier there, I'm still not quite there in terms of getting used to the wheels. So I will get there eventually, guys. Just keep sticking with me, and I promise I'll try not to be a massive noob during my transition period, which is taking a bit longer than I thought. But that's not stopping us from reeling in the Renault there of Daniel Ricciardo. In fact, Ricciardo's actually gotten ahead now of Antonio Giovinazzi, so it's the Alfa Romeo that we've got to chase down now. Ricciardo he's gotten ahead of us there. We actually short shift down there to 7th in the middle of Cox, and thankfully there's no big incident between myself and another driver, kind of unlike what happened at the real life British Grand Prix. And as you can see there, the difference really is made in the corners now with overtaking DRS coming up. This should be quite an easy overtake. We left it quite late to go around the outside there, but it's a very, very easy overtake for us. Yellow, it's purple there rather in the
Nice move.
Thanks for that, Jeff. Purple in the second sector there. We do go wide though into Stowe. I think I was sort of half expecting Giovinazzi to come back at me there, so a bit of an oversight, a bit of an overjudgment on my part, possibly overthinking it. We do have the fastest lap, so come on now, even more incentive to get up into 10th place. We need that extra point for the championship here, guys. We can't be having the Ackerman or Butler be trying to beat us here, and with a long train of cars coming up, I think it'll be definitely harder to overtake for DRS, because as you have seen during the Formula 1 races, as soon as you overtake, as soon as you get stuck in what they call the DRS train, the guy in front of you basically has DRS. So unless they're not deploying any overtake or whatever, it's very, very hard to catch up. And because of the weight of these cars, it's very hard to stay with them. But thankfully, I'm playing a video game. This isn't anything like real life. And we see Daniel Ricciardo up there. Can we get a move potentially done into Cops? Now I think we think wiser of it and back out. We stay with him there. We're going to have his turbulent wake all the way through us there, from Maggots all the way through to Beckett's and all the way down to Chapel. We actually lift off a little bit earlier there, just to make sure that we have enough speed to tackle him. We go a little bit wide on the outside of Beckett's. We're still with him though, through Chapel. We're kind of behind. I think we're just about catching up. Are we going to go for the overtake now? Yes, we do, and we just about make it. But Ricciardo, as you can see from the red arrow on the screen, he is coming back at us here. And what do we do here? We do... Oh, it's our teammate Kasparaki, who we had more than enough run-ins with during this breaking point mode. Any overtakes on him have pretty much got to be clean, but we can't be afford to be held up here behind our teammate. And to be fair, I think team orders need to come into play here, guys. I mean, I'm on a faster set of tyres. He's not likely to go for points. I want to be ahead, but we try and think of an overtake there, but it's not quite working for us, I feel. Mind you, there's still... What can we do with this? What can we do with this guy? We're closer than normally where it is to that corner. And usually with that corner, I'm pretty bad. We go around to the inside there, but we set ourselves up, I think, for the outside. Can we get moved on? No, not quite there. Into Luffield. We set up a nice line there.
5 laps of fuel remaining.
Thanks for that, Jeff. We got the overtake now available to us. Now we're going for an inside move there in cops. Please don't let this be too bloody. We stick our foot in it and we absolutely do him. Our teammate has been showed up yet again by the young rookie. It's like, what are you doing, mate? You're meant to be having all this experience. And yeah, we do have fresher tyres, but that's beside the point. I just want to enjoy my victory overtake here. And we're behind Sebastian Vettel now in the Ferrari, who if this in real life was having an absolutely dismal season with the Scuderia. It's like the two fell out of love, and you stay in the same team just hoping for the year to be over now. But we don't care too much about that because we need that 10th place, because without it we won't be able to get much further within this career mode. So we're chasing after Devin Butler now. Revenge for his idiot prank call, I guess, the other time. Oh no! Yeah, just pretend that wasn't there. Like, there was no real spin or anything. Like, no, the curves in this game didn't end me at all. It's all fine. It's all good. It's all good. If anything, we'll probably just blame Butler for that one because, yeah, why not? Let's lose some favour there. Anywho, now we've got now coming up to the end of lap 11 now. We've only got about 2 laps to go after this one to get up into 10th place. It's Alex Albon there that's really the man we've got to chase. I think we're just over 2 seconds behind him. So we cannot sit behind Devin Butler, the man who got our number by unexplained means just before this race went ahead. Came by to wish us good luck and... well, when I say wishing us good luck... When I say wishing us good luck, he basically said, I'm just going to lord my superiority over you, you disgusting other human being. But we are on the softer tyres. He is within our sight. It will not be long now before Butler pays the price for his idiotic prank call that he gave to us before the start of this race. We're coming up to, this is the Wellington Straight now. We're not in DRS zone yet. This could very well be a last lap battle that we've got going on for 10th place in front of Albon here. We've got to pass Devon now. We cannot waste any time doing it. We have just got to side past the rival that we have in the Breaking Point story. The guy we love to hate, the guy that we love to pass and put one over, hopefully. Coming down to Maggots and Beckett's, which I found is getting much better now on the wheel. Slowly but surely getting round to it. There's... In the DRS zone, we've got overtaking everything activated, but I think that Butler has us covered there with DRS. I think he's just too far ahead, really, for us to actually do anything. But we've got to pounce now, though. We go a little bit wide after Stowe. We go a late one to the inside there for the last of the last section of the track. And now
that brings you up the place. This is your final lap of the race. Gap to teammate behind is 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, I don't care about the gap between Ackerman here, Jeff. I want to know the gap between myself and Alex Albon, who I think what this game has done a good job of is actually reflecting the struggles that were going on at the moment, because at the time Albon really was struggling at Red Bull, and I don't know what it was at the time. He just got into the season in 2020 and he just got swallowed up, really. I just don't think he was fully ready for that Red Bull seat, which is a problem within the Red Bull driver program. Whether that's a fault in nurturing the drivers or expecting them to just sort of all be like Max, I'm not entirely sure. But I feel like Albon was sort of a victim of circumstance there. I mean, this radio with the Eiffel Grand Prix really didn't help him when he complained that they were racing him so hard. But I don't think it'll be long before we see Albon in another formula of some kind. I know he's been lined up for a Formula E driver at the time of this episode. But we're coming down here. We got DRS, we got overtake. We haven't really closed up here. I don't think we're actually going to get the overtake done into Stowe. What's happening here? But we are going to take, and we even just barge him out of the way for good measure. So sorry, Alex. We have raced you pretty hard there and pretty unfair. But we need that point, we need that 10th place, and we need to get through the story mode. It's the most important thing out of anything. We've done it on home soil.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Yeah, it's the same old story here. Once again, Mercedes doing well, but Verstappen beats Bottas to P2 rather, so that's at least one change in the usual podium formation. But the real star of the moment really is young Aiden Jackson. Sorry, Lewis, but Aiden Jackson all the way, my friend. He's the one that really shone on home turf for the British Grand Prix. We managed to salvage that point, passing Casper Ackermann one more time. I mean, it looks like during this career, I would love to see what the actual standings are like for this fictional season, but since we seem to be way ahead of Casper in terms of points and just general form as well, so not quite sure what makes him so bitter. Maybe he just kind of feels like a sore loser here, but not entirely sure what his crack is, but I'm hoping we'll find that out later on, because it's still, I'm still liking this career mode. There's still plenty of stories to tell, but it's going a little bit quiet, I think, in terms of narrative. We only just really got a prank call from Devon Butler, and thankfully we beat him. And I hope that guy crashed out as well, because fuck him. Don't like him at all. Let's see what Brian's got to say then.
Brian,
Well, someone's the hot topic in the press room.
what do you mean?
Oh, come on. There's no need to be so modest.
What are you on about, Brian?
Well, after that puncture, everyone thought you'd lost it. But to pull it back and into the points, it's all anyone's talking about.
Well, I'm glad the press is starting to take notice.
Oh, get used to it. They put a bunch of interviews in your diary for tomorrow. It's why I was calling.
Right, thanks for letting me know.
So don't celebrate too hard tonight, eh?
Yeah, alright, Brian. Don't worry. I'm only going to see my mum.
Right. Well, each to their own.
See you later, Brian.
Each to their own. What are you saying there, mate? Is it bad that I decide to celebrate my points finish with my mother? No, I'm not one for drinking heavily anymore. Well, in real life, I've actually given up drinking, so it's I can kind of sympathise with anyone wanting to spend time with his mum more than anything else. So there we go. I think that brings an end to this episode of Breaking Point. So yeah, it was a nice heroic points finish to recover from a puncture. So that's what really happens when the tyres are dead. If you enjoyed this episode, then be sure to hit that like button, and if you're a fan of the series as well, then do get subscribed for more regular Formula 1 content, and hit that notification bell icon as well to be notified of all future videos that come out. And it's very soon I'll be looking to do the next episode of my team, so that will be the next episode coming up. That one's been filmed, so I just need to cut it together and put it into a video that's obviously going to be entertaining for you guys. So yeah, I think that'll be my next one. I'll probably release that either tomorrow or Friday, but I'll see how we go, and then I'll probably work on it a little bit later tonight. So there we go, guys. That's the end of the episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. I've been Spark, you guys have been real, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.